Hi everyone, I'm Casper Turkile, and a long time ago, I was one of the co-founders of UKYCC.
Hello UKYCC, my name's Lewis and I was part of the delegation sent to Copenhagen in 2009.
Hello UKYCC, my name is Tahan and I'm the current Young Focal Point this year.
Hi, I'm Tom, one of the organisers here at UKYCC.
So I joined UKYCC to turn my anger at the current system and politicians into hope through collective action and coming together with a community.
Happy 15th birthday UKYCC. Happy 15th anniversary UKYCC, and congratulations to every single young person, young organiser and activist that has been part of building a strong youth climate justice movement.
When I think back all those years ago, Emma and I had met at university when we were both involved in Go Green Week, which was a campus-based environmental activist project. And, we knew each other, but not well. And we were very, very lucky and privileged to be taken to the Arctic on a 10-day voyage to the future, as it was called. And we learned from climate scientists and communications experts and campaign strategists about how we might help push the international negotiations on climate forward, and realizing that young people didn't just have to be kind of people who put pressure on decision makers, but that we could lead ourselves in all sorts of different ways, and came home with a fire. And Emma certainly, I think, was the same. And we decided that we would try and copy what we were seeing in youth movements elsewhere in Australia and India and beyond. And so that's where the name UKYCC came from, because there was an AYCC in Australia and an Indian climate youth movement and various others. And I remember in those early days, I wrote to some of those organizations, and they basically shared all of their organizational documents with us, including the finances. Like, there was such transparency and friendship and trust. And I think without that, both from the international youth movement, but from other mentors and supporters in the UK as well, this project would never have happened. Together, the first that we knew of youth delegation from the UK to the UNFCCC negotiations in Poznan in Poland. And that for me was a transformative experience.
It's amazing to see UKYCC still alive and thriving, not because I believe that our organisations and groups need to exist forever, but because I know that we need spaces like UKYCC more than ever in the face of the issue of climate change and climate injustice. And I know that UKYCC strives to be a space that is welcoming and inviting for co-learning, co-creating, and for the collective politicization on the systems of power that are oppressing us, the systems of power that dominate fossil fuel industry, politicians, and that UKYCC is trying to build a different kind of space that exercises power with one another to overcome these challenges and to build something different that's more aligned with our values.
From that time, even though we've all gone to do different things, worked in law or access to public land, to community building, to new economy work, all the different ways in which that experience shaped us.
I have some really wonderful memories of being part of the UKYCC. I can't believe it's been nearly 15 years. That's insane. It makes me feel really old. But it was something that will always stay with me. I made some incredible friendships. It led to really wonderful personal opportunities for me in my career. It really expanded my abilities in terms of organization, knowing how to work with a really diverse group of people, really incredible people. And it was a really wonderful opportunity to meet people from the global south and all around the world and work together for a common cause. Something that is unforgettable. Being part of the UKYCC back then, I think we were all learning a lot together.
I'm really grateful for the role that UKYCC has played in my own politicisation on this issue, and it's the issues that it's interconnected with, the skills that it gave me, and how it taught me how important it is to have resilient community and a political home, and everything that I've been able to learn through UKYCC has been something that I've taken on beyond into other spaces that I'm in, and I see that with many people who have had experiences and time in amongst other peers within UKYCC.
UKYCC for me has been just such an incredible space to learn, to develop new skills, but also just to meet so many amazing people. I think most people would agree with me when I say that the best thing about UKYCC is the community. We really are just this amazing community of young people all looking to achieve climate justice. And it's incredible to find so many people so passionate, so motivated, and so talented, all working towards this same vision.
UKYCC also felt like a space where my skills and knowledge would be valued. I didn't have to come in as a kind of amazing public speaker, an already established activist. I could learn on the way and contribute in whatever way I could to pushing for climate justice.
I am deeply grateful, especially to the COP working group, for sharing with me their insights and perspectives on the negotiations and providing me with the skills and confidence to eventually run for Focal Point. So thank you.
Has always made me look back at the experience of being part of UKYCC on two levels. One was the impact that we had, and certainly I think we did.
We had some really fun times doing fundraising.
Emma and the rest of the team put together this incredible event called Powershift, and we brought, I think, 300 young people from around the UK together to pressure Parliament.
We had some flash mobs. I remember dancing under the London Eye. We travelled to Copenhagen by train and came back by ferry. We did trainings up in Newcastle. I remember going night clubbing in Newcastle, sleeping on the floor of a church, travelling to Wales by train to do training there in the deepest part of West Wales. That was a great experience. Wonderful memories leading up to Copenhagen, and then of course the event itself. I remember feeling pretty overwhelmed actually by the event. We organised on the inside and on the outside. We got involved in marches and protests outside of the negotiations, but as part of a global youth organisation, we also had an impact within the UN negotiating process, and we got the youth recognised within that process. So I think that was a really amazing achievement.
I'm trying to think of my favourite memory of the 4 or 5 years that I was campaigning here, but there were so many. I think I've got two. One, I guess, was like 3-4 months after I joined. Ailey, Rob and myself went to COP with literally no training, no idea what it was. We knew what it was, but we had no idea kind of the scale of action that happens there, how we could affect change. And we only went for 2 days, and it was probably one of the most deeply politicising experiences of my entire life. Went in wide-eyed and naive, thinking, oh, this is going to be an amazing space of change, and actually, this being a microcosm for all of the injustices that we see in the wider world. And I think really like learning there on the ground from activists from all over the world what climate justice means in practice and how we can practice it. And just seeing that, compared from then to now, how much the term climate justice is more widely understood is fabulous. And the other one was, I think, going up to the fracking camps in Lancashire, blocking the road, connecting with local fracking communities, being there all day and all night. It was fabulous, and it was always great to be going around the country and standing in solidarity with people who are fighting fossil fuel infrastructure on the ground as it affects their communities. And I think we're probably still doing that, and I hope you're in solidarity to all of you guys doing all of that. Love you guys. Happy 15th birthday.
And I think a highlight for me in particular during my time over the past 4 years has to be COP26. It was just such a great, fun experience, which I think is probably quite odd to say about COP, but it was. There was a huge team of us that all went up to Glasgow over the 2 weeks of COP26, and it was just so much fun running around the city, getting to know each other, going to actions, talks, workshops, and it was also just a really steep learning curve. I think it was a real turning point for me in terms of my own climate activism. So yeah, definitely say COP26 has to be a highlight for me.
Throughout the past 1.5 years, I've had the unique opportunity to work both within and alongside UKYCC in the lead up to COP27 and COP28. From lobbying the UK government delegation on equitable fossil fuel phase out in Bonn to reactivating the conflict of interest working group in Yangon, it has been an incredible opportunity for me to engage with the diversity of youth activists and advocates from across the UK.
So seeing the impact on the actual process of legislation and certainly public awareness, I think we contributed to that in some small way. But there's a secondary impact, which was the impact on people who participated in UKYCC. And I think the skills that we learn in terms of leadership and strategy and conflict resolution, the feeling of empowerment of not waiting for anyone to give us permission to do something, but just taking the reins and going for it. That has stayed with me just as much as the impact.
I feel that 15 years later, the fact that we still need the UKYCC more than ever is something that is both good and bad. It's good that we still have young people passionate about protecting the planet for the future. It's just so sad that we need it now more than ever and that time is running out. So please continue the amazing work.
For you, as you are involved with UKYCC now, I hope that you'll be able to hold on to that kind of outer impact and that inner impact, those two things together, because we need both of them in the long run. And I'm just profoundly grateful to everyone who's been involved with UKYCC, the imagination, the passion, the dedication, the willingness to keep going when times are tough. That is just endlessly inspiring to me, and I know a whole generation of UKYCCers who now are a little grey in the on the head or wherever it is, a little older, and just profoundly grateful for everything that you're doing to protect and mitigate against the worst of climate chaos, and to build a culture and set of systems that can adapt to the impacts that are already coming. So I wish you well. I'm so glad you're celebrating this anniversary of UKYCC, and good luck.
My hope is that UKYCC can continue to empower youth voices, and also that UKYCC continues to highlight the interconnectedness between the need for climate justice and the need to reform our current system.
I hope that this will only be the beginning of a much longer term and more meaningful partnership between Yangon and UKYCC. And moving forward, I see immense potential to join forces on projects such as the Regional Conference of Youth in Western Europe and many more. Thank you so much, and wishing UKYCC a happy 15th anniversary.
All I can say is a huge congratulations, well done, let's keep it up, and I hope you have a really wonderful celebration together.